Today, we're talking about the most difficult subject in economics. Not how to get rich, that's the easy part. We're talking about how to not be poor. That is the hard part. Most people think poverty is a lack of money, a number in a bank account. They are wrong. Poverty is not a number. Poverty is a gravitational force, a trap, a closed-loop system designed to keep you spinning your wheels until you run out of energy and die. And if you want to understand why you're stuck, you need to understand rocket science.
Before we dive in, if you're new here, this channel is dedicated to one thing: breaking down the psychology of wealth in a way nobody else will tell you. If that's what you're looking for, hit subscribe right now. It's free, and it might be the most valuable free thing you do today. When a rocket tries to leave Earth, it fights gravity. To reach orbit, it must hit a specific speed. We call this escape velocity. If the rocket uses 99% of the required fuel but doesn't hit that speed, what happens? It doesn't get 99% of the way to the moon. It falls back to Earth and crashes. This is exactly what happens to the working class. You work hard, you save a little, you try to climb out of the hole, you get halfway up the wall, and then something happens. Car breaks down, you get sick, rent goes up. Gravity kicks in. And because you didn't reach escape velocity, you fall all the way back to the bottom, lower than before. Because now you're discouraged, now you're tired, now you have less fuel. This is why working a little harder doesn't work. In the physics of poverty, linear effort produces zero results. You need exponential effort to break the gravitational pull. And to do that, you need to understand the 5 chains holding you down. Most people think, give a poor person money, problem solved. But lottery winners who receive millions of dollars are often broke again within 3 years. Why? Because poverty is not just a lack of cash, it's a lack of cognitive bandwidth. Harvard researcher Sendhil Mullainathan found that when your mind is consumed by financial stress, worrying about rent, about the car, about the bills, your effective IQ drops by 13 points. 13 points! That's the same as going without sleep for 24 hours or being a functional alcoholic. This means when you're poor, you're literally running a damaged processor. You're trying to solve complex long-term problems with a brain stuck in survival mode. And here's where it gets cruel. Poverty is expensive. This is called the Vimes boots theory. A rich man buys quality boots for $50. They last 10 years. Cost $5 per year. A poor man can only afford $10 boots. They fall apart every year. Over 10 years, he spends $100, twice as much, and his feet were wet the whole time. The system charges you a penalty for being poor. Late fees, overdraft fees, high interest rates, higher unit prices because you can't buy in bulk. How do you break this chain? Build a buffer. Your first financial goal is not investing, not buying a house. It's saving $500 to $1,000 in a separate account and never touching it. That money doesn't buy things. It buys back your brain. It buys you cognitive bandwidth. It lets you sleep. It lets you look up from the ground and finally see the horizon.
You've heard the criticism before. If you're poor, why do you have the newest iPhone? Why buy expensive sneakers? Why eat out when you have food at home? Easy to judge from the outside. But let's look at the biology. When you're trapped in the poverty loop, your cortisol levels are constantly high. You feel invisible. You feel small. Your brain is screaming for relief. So when you walk into a store and buy those new shoes, your brain releases a hit of dopamine. For a few minutes, the pain disappears. For a few minutes, you feel successful. You feel like you matter. This isn't spending. This is self-medication. But here's the trap. The dopamine fades in 20 minutes. The credit card bill
lasts 20 years. The poor see money as a way to buy pleasure. The rich see money as a way to buy freedom. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out. Most people in the low-income trap are drowning in liabilities. Nice car, nice clothes, subscriptions, gadgets. They look rich, but they're bleeding wealth every single day. How do you break this chain? Enter monk mode. 6 months of radical elimination. Cancel Netflix. Stop eating out. Stop buying clothes. Strip your life to the bare essentials. When you stop getting dopamine from spending, your brain rewires. You start getting high on saving, on watching your account grow. That's the dopamine of control. And once you realize you don't need the new phone to feel good, you become dangerous. The system can no longer manipulate you with shiny objects. You are free.
Quick pause here. If this video is making you think differently about money, there's a lot more where this came from. Every week, we drop content that your school never taught you. Subscribe and hit the bell, because the next video might be the one that changes everything for you. Most people are taught one equation for life. Time equals money. Want more money? Work more hours. Get a second job. Drive Uber on weekends. But there's a fatal flaw in this equation. Time is finite. You only have 24 hours. You have to sleep, which means your income has a mathematical ceiling, no matter how hard you work. And your expenses? Not capped. Enter the silent killer of the working class, inflation. When the government prints money, prices go up. Bread, gas, everything. But wages are sticky. Your boss waits a year before giving you a 3% raise. By then, inflation has already eaten 8% of your purchasing power. You're running up a down escalator, and the escalator is faster than you. How do you break this chain? Stop selling time. Start selling value. Build a skill stack. Scott Adams, creator of Dilbert, wasn't the best artist, not the funniest writer, not the most experienced businessman, but he was good at all three. And when he stacked them, he became unique, exponential. If you're a construction worker, learn sales. Now you're not just a laborer, you're a contractor who closes deals. If you're a waiter, learn copywriting. Now you're not just carrying food, you're designing menus that sell high-margin items. The market pays for rarity. It doesn't pay for effort. Build a moat around your income. That moat is your skill stack. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your 5 closest friends are broke, you will be the 6th. Why? Because humans are mimicking machines. We have mirror neurons in our brains. We subconsciously copy the behavior, language, and mindset of our tribe. This is the crab bucket effect. Put 1 crab in a bucket, it can crawl out. Put 10 crabs in a bucket, and when one tries to escape, the other 9 grab its legs and pull it back down. They don't do it because they're evil. They do it because your success makes them feel unsafe. Your escape highlights their imprisonment. When you start monk mode, when you start saving, learning new skills, your old friends will notice, and they won't applaud you. They'll say, "Why are you working so hard? Relax." They'll say, "You think you're better than us?" They'll say, "The game is rigged anyway." That is the sound of social gravity. How do you break this chain? Find a new tribe. Not by being cruel to old friends, but by protecting your mind. You live in the age of the internet. You can spend time with Charlie Munger, with Einstein, with the greatest minds in history. Read their books, watch their interviews. Let their voices drown out the noise of your environment. When you read a biography of a billionaire, you're downloading their operating system into your brain. You're choosing to be the average of the authors you read, not the people you live next to. This is how you escape the gravity of your zip code. You build a new neighborhood in your mind.
Albert Einstein said, "Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. If you're trapped in the poverty loop, you're on the wrong side of this equation. You're paying compound interest, credit card debt at 20%, car loans, student loans. Every day you wake up, you're poorer than the night before, even if you didn't spend a single dollar. The wealthy are on the other side. S&P 500, real estate, businesses. Every day they wake up, they're richer than the night before, even if they slept all day. This is the snowball effect. How do you break this chain? 3 stages of escape. Stage 1, survival. Stop the bleeding. Cut expenses to the bone. Use your monk mode savings to kill high-interest debt first. Eliminate the vampire sucking your blood. Stage 2, accumulation. Start buying assets. Take $10 a day, just $10, and put it into a low-cost index fund. Ignore the noise, ignore the trends. Just buy a piece of the economy and let it grow. Your snowball starts small. It looks pathetic. Trust the math. Stage 3, freedom. The moment your assets generate enough cash flow to cover your basic needs, that is escape velocity. You no longer have to sell your time to stay alive. You have options. You have dignity. You have broken the gravitational pull. Let's review the 5 chains. The scarcity tax, draining your brain. The dopamine trap, stealing your cash. The linear income trap, wasting your time. The social gravity, pulling you back down. The compound void, keeping you on the wrong side of math. These are the chains that bind you. But remember this, chains are made of metal, but they are forged in the mind. The door to the cage is open. It has always been open. The system wants you to stay inside. Your friends want you to stay inside. Your own fear wants you to stay inside. But now, you have the map. You have the physics. You just need one thing: the courage to walk out. That's all. If you made it this far, you're already different from most people. Most people quit halfway. You didn't. That's the mindset that breaks the poverty loop. Now do one more thing. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for your future self. Because every week we're going to hand you another key, another chain broken, another step closer to escape velocity. The door is open. Let's walk out together.